So I was supposed to make this video the other day, but I looked in my recordings folder and there was absolutely nothing for me to do commentary over. So I went back to my bed in defeat, asked Seamus if he would record some of his zombies gameplay for me so I could use it for a story time. So today's gameplay is going to be by Seamus. But what's up, guys? It's Mr. Creatine back again with another video. Obviously today is going to be another story time because that's like all I do on this channel. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. So this one's actually a pretty old story. It's back from before I think I was in ninth grade, and around this time I honestly wasn't doing anything besides hanging out with my friends. Like, I wasn't smoking at all, definitely wasn't drinking at all. I think I had maybe taken a couple sips of alcohol that I've talked to you guys about before, but yeah, I wasn't really doing much at the time besides hanging out with my friends. And on this day was me just hanging out with one of my friends. And this is one of my friends that I think common viewers of my channel know about, and that's like my friend who I always call Carter. And Carter and I on this day, I'm not gonna lie to you, we honestly weren't doing all that much. There's not really a lot to do where I live at, but like once a year over the summer, we'll have like a county fair that's pretty fun to go to. They do like derbies and shit, have like animals there, like rides, just a lot of fun stuff to do. And so me and Carter, we had decided this day that we were going to go hang out at the fair. And we had gotten to the fair. We just started walking around for a little while. And the way the fair works, it's kind of just in a giant like circle or like big ass oval. So we could just do a bunch of laps. And so that's what we did. We did some laps, like saw everything, talked to a bunch of people we knew. And then we started to go around to like this one entrance that's like the closest to my house. And by this entrance, there's like a bunch of just carnival games like basketball, like the little claw machines with all the stuffed animals inside, stuff like that. And we got over to this one game. It was called Ring a Knife, which I think is pretty self explanatory. But basically, you throw a ring. If you landed on the knife, you get to keep a knife. So me and Carter, we pull out all our money and we just start playing this game. And somehow, some way, we both managed to, I think, at least land on one or two of the smaller knives. So after we had finished our games, we had like asked them for our knives, and these fair workers were fucking cocks. They let me, I was 14 at the time, Carter was 13. They let us play the game, but they didn't tell us we wouldn't be allowed to get the knives afterward because of the fact that neither of us were 18. So we're both standing there completely like baffled because we got like basically scammed out of our money. And then we proceed to walk away, and thankfully I see one of my mom's friends that was like living with us basically at the time. She was with her daughter. So I ran up to her. I'm like, "Hey, we won Ring a Knife. Can you come like tell them that you're one of our guardians so we can get these knives?" And she's like, "Yeah, hold on, let me come over there." Then we walked back over. We had gotten the workers to give us our knives because we weren't trying to get scammed. And then we proceeded to thank my mom's friend for like helping us out with getting the knives. And then we just kind of continued to walk around for a little bit. And something me and Carter had somehow managed to forget was like in my area every Saturday, a roller rink like opens up and you get to go like roller skating. It's like this whole place. Like, I've met a lot of people through it. But basically, it was Saturday, and me and Carter had both failed to like realize that it was that day, I guess. And while we were walking around, Carter, I think, finally realized, and it was like, "Riddick, why don't we just go skating? Like, there's probably gonna be people there." And I'm like, "Dude, I kind of like spent most of my money, if not like almost all of it, on Ring a Knife. Like, I only had a few dollars left, not even." And he's like, "I still got a pretty decent amount of money left, like I can cover for you." And I said, "All right, thank you. Yeah, I'm down to go." And we just left the fair right from there and started walking over to the roller rink. It was like a 40-minute walk from all the way in town too. Like, we spent a pretty decent amount of time walking there, but eventually we had gotten there. Carter had paid for both of us to get in, and we just started going and hanging out with some people that we knew. And I bet you guys are wondering, like, what'd you guys do with the knives? You probably can't like take those in with you to the skating rink. And I just kind of slid mine into my shoe and then put my shoes in like the little under the cubby area near some of the seats because they gave us areas that we could like put our stuff at while we're roller skating. But yeah, I'd put my shoes and like knife and stuff all in like this little cubby area. I don't know what Carter did with his stuff, but like I said, we had hung out with a bunch of people. We had skated a little. And eventually Carter started hanging out with this one dude that I low-key had beef with, and I don't even remember as to like why, so it probably wasn't even that serious, but you'll come to realize later in the story the beef got really serious for no apparent fucking reason. But after I saw Carter hanging out with this dude, I tried to like keep my distance a little bit because I'm not trying to have my night just ruined by some dude I'm not even chill with. So I kind of just went and like did my own thing, like kept in touch with Carter over like Snapchat and phone numbers, stuff like that, and kind of just went about my night. I had found one of my other friends who I was friends with at the time there, who we'll just call Lance, and me and Lance had started talking. We hadn't hung out in like a minute because the school year had been over, and we didn't really talk that much over the entire summertime. And I had asked him if he wanted to spend the night at my house, and he said, fuck it, you know what? I'm down. Like, he's like, just let me ask my parents real quick. And he had texted his parents. He had asked real quick. He had gotten the go-ahead. So we were greenlit for him to basically spend the night at my house. And so we'd hung out for a little bit longer. We had met up with one of my other friends that was there, who we'll just call Lacey. And it started to get pretty close to, like, the end of skating. The times were only, like, I think 7 to, like, 10:30. So we didn't have, like, all that long there. And we'd all started to get ready to leave. And me, Lacey, and Lance, we all walk out of the skating rink and we start walking like back in the direction of my house. And like 10 minutes, I would say, into my walk, I start getting a phone call from my mom, and she's like, why was this dude, we'll just call him Aaron, why was Aaron at the house with a bunch of other like dudes saying they're gonna jump you because you threatened to stab him? And I'm like, what are you even talking about? And she's like, Aaron and like 4 other dudes just came to the house, said they were gonna jump you because you apparently said you were gonna stab Aaron. And I'm like, I never said I was gonna stab Aaron. Been at skating all night. The only knife I have, I won at Ring a Knife earlier in the day, so I don't even understand how he would know that I had a knife. And then I asked her, I was like, did they say like anything else pertaining to the situation at all, so I could maybe get a little more like context as to what even went on? And she's like, no, that's pretty much all they said. They just said that they wanted to fight you and that you threatened to stab Aaron. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't. Like, I'm going to give you that information right now. And she's like, I really didn't think you did, but they seem to think that you did it. And I just responded to her. I was like, okay, well, I'll figure it out. Thank you for letting me know, I guess. And then I got off the phone with my mom. Lacey and Lance are both looking at me like, Riddick, what the fuck did you do? And that's what they had asked me, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know. Like, I have no clue what it was happening in this current moment. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, the only 2 people that knew I had a knife were Carter and then my mom's friend. And Carter was the only one who was at skating. And I'm sitting there, like, really not wanting to believe that he said some shit that wasn't true. But I honestly didn't have any other solutions in mind. So I kind of just like continued my walk with Lance and Lacey. We kept talking. Eventually we got to a point where we had to like split and go separate ways because Lacey had to walk a little farther than I did. So we said bye. We had went into my house, and then we started talking to my mom about the situation, and she's like, yo, Aaron's mom is calling me on some crazy shit, and like I'm gonna fight her. And I'm sitting there like, don't fight Aaron's mom over a situation that we don't even know what is happening yet. Keep in mind, I'm still sitting here confused, and I'm the one that's getting, like, accused of shit. And now I'm, like, trying to talk my mom out of trying to fight somebody else's mom. And after, like, 5 or 10 minutes of this, my mom and her friend, who, like I said, was living with us at the time, they went to go do, I don't even know what. It could have had something to do with the situation. It could have had nothing to do with the situation. I really don't remember what they went to go do, but they had left me and Lance just at my house by myself. And while me and Lance were at my house, we were just listening to music, and eventually I get like a phone call from Instagram or Snapchat, I don't know, and it was Aaron. Mind you, me and Aaron didn't like talk to each other at all at this point in time. We had beef. Like, we used to be friends, but we didn't have like each other on any more social medias, like no phone number, no nothing. But he had found a way to call me, and I answer the phone, and immediately bro starts pressing me over the phone. So you know I had to defend myself. I start pressing back. We're both just like screaming into the phone now. Lance is like screaming into the phone. He's like, yo, you know Riddick didn't threaten to fucking stab you, some shit like that. Like, we're just saying a bunch of shit. And eventually I just start like asking the question we all want to know. I'm like, Aaron, why do you even think that I threatened to stab you? And at first, he's, like, not even answering the question. And then eventually, like, after I keep pressing him about it, he's like, oh, fucking Carter told me about the knife you got. You were gonna fucking stab me with it. And I'm sitting there like, bro, why? Why are you just believing this information? Like, the only knife I explained to him, the only knife that I had on me, I had one in-ring knife with Carter earlier, and the knife was like maybe, I think, 4 inches to 5 inches long with the blade out. Like, that shit wasn't hurting nobody, and either way, I hadn't told Carter that I was going to stab you. Like, that's what I proceeded to explain to Aaron, and he's not buying it. He's like, nah, he wouldn't fucking lie to me. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Just fuck you. I hung up the phone, and after that, I immediately go to, like, texting Carter, and I asked Carter, I'm like, bro, why are you saying shit that just isn't even true? You're causing issues that, like, don't need to be caused. Like, yeah, me and Aaron were beefing, but there was no need for it to go this far. And I don't even know what Carter said. Like, I hung out with Carter the other day and I asked him about, like, why he even told Aaron that, and he still, like, to this day doesn't, like, tell me why. And I just wasn't getting it. Like, I'm sitting there like, bro, you could get me in genuine trouble for this shit. Like, telling somebody I'm literally threatening to stab them while I have a knife on me could get me in genuine trouble. And that's what I was trying to explain to him. And, like, and nobody's just giving a fuck at all. And I really did not understand it. So I tell him essentially the same thing I told Aaron. I'm like, you know what? Just fuck you, dude. And I just stopped texting him. I just let the situation go for the entire rest of the night. I just stopped giving a shit. And I had enjoyed my hangout with Lance, and we fast forward into the next morning, and I don't know exactly what my mom and Aaron's mom had planned out, but apparently they had, like, made plans to come figure out what the situation was, like, face to face on my porch. So at like 12 in the afternoon the next day, I'm out on my porch with my mom. Aaron's out on my porch with his mom, and we're all talking, and I'm like, bro, I did not threaten you. I did not threaten anything towards you. Carter is being a lying bitch right now, and he's still standing there just not believing it. He's like, whatever, man. And I'm just like, okay. And I told his mom that. I'm like, I I really don't know what to tell you. Carter is saying a bunch of things that are false. And she starts telling me, she's like, yeah, I've heard a little drama about, like, this Carter kid, and she's talking to my mom about it. And eventually we come to the conclusion to, like, even his mom believed that I didn't threaten anything. But, like, me and Aaron, we weren't going to be friends, like, at all after this. And, yeah, we came to that conclusion. And that's pretty much where the story time ends. They both left after that. I actually spoke to Aaron the other day when Carter was here. I'm not going to lie, because they're both still friends. And they were on the phone with each other. So I had a mini conversation with Aaron, and it was kind of chill. But, yeah, that is it for today's story time. If you guys enjoyed the story, drop a like and comment some other videos you might want to see in the future. And I'll be live on TikTok tomorrow playing Sons of the Forest with my boy Geo, so stay tuned for that. And if you guys want to join the Discord in the community bio, there is a permanent link for the server that you guys can join. We're all just kind of talking in there, having a good time. And if you guys are new, you should definitely drop a sub, and I'll see you guys all in my next video or stream. Bye.